Welcome everyone, my name is Ashley, welcome to my channel. Before you begin, please like and subscribe down below. Today's episode is going to be about how to start your weight loss journey. And it's so easy. Most people think it's just stop eating or go on a calorie deficit. It's not that easy. It's actually to maintain or actually achieve a positive weight loss journey, you have to put more into it than just doing something. And it sounds a little bit ironic. Just listen to me. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I think you can't just jump into your weight loss journey. You have to think about it. So number one, and this is my main reason. Everything is about personal experience. So I lost 130 pounds personally. I did everything on my own. I didn't need any help. I didn't ask for any help. I didn't have the funds to do anything. So everything I'm going to say today is going to be from my own personal experience. And the first thing I do recommend is having a goal. So I don't want you to say, look, my goal is to lose weight. How much weight? By when? If your goal is just to lose weight, you could spend 10 years and lose a pound and you achieved your goal. It's not really a great goal. You've lost weight. It's taken you 10 years. So let's be more realistic. So if you want a goal, what do you want to lose? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Or do you want to be like me and lose 130 or even more? Do you want to lose 200 pounds? Give yourself a realistic goal and just say, look, I want to lose 100 pounds. Okay? And let's give yourself, you've got that target, so it's 100 pounds. That's what I want to lose. Give yourself a realistic time frame because you need something to push you. You need a goal to give you the reason for what you're doing. So if your reason is to lose 1 pound for the whole year, you can just wait until the end of the year and lose that 1 pound by not eating for like one day or going out jogging for that one day, and you've achieved your year target by doing one thing. Well, if your target is to lose 100 pounds over a year period of time, you can go, all right then, let's divide obviously 100 by 12 or 100 by 11, whatever you want to do. So that's the months that you want to do. And then you can go, all right then, I need to lose X amount of weight every month, give or take. And if, when that month comes and I haven't achieved a goal, you know realistically there's something wrong and you have to up your game. Because you know the time frame, you're all right then. I meant to lose 6 pounds, but I lost 5 pounds. So next month I'm going to work even harder. So I don't lose 6 pounds, I'll lose 7 pounds, and I bring myself back into target. It's to giving yourself reason of doing something. It's like, what's the word? And it's being that you actually understand what you're doing. Is that this is my target. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to be accountable for my target, and you're going to push forward. So the first thing you want to do is target and wait and time. So target weight and time frame. That is the main thing. I don't care what you want to do. If you want to start with, if you don't have any goal, you don't have anything to aim for, you're just going to go around in circles and you're not going to achieve anything. So have a target, have a time frame, and be realistic. Don't say, like, I want to lose 300 pounds in 3 months. It's not going to happen. You have to be realistic. Don't go out of the norm. Because obviously if it's going to be too hard, you're not going to stick to it. But if it's in reason and it's doable to do, then it's going to be achievable. So if something's unachievable and it's too hard, you're going to give up, you're going to go back in your old ways, and you're going to gain weight. So again, time frame and obviously goal weight. That is number one. That's the main thing that you need to do. Number two, and it's one of my favorites, is research. And you're probably thinking, what kind of research do you really need to lose weight, Ash? You're talking nonsense. Shut up, leave the channel. No, I'm not going to leave. Research is the key thing. And when I was obviously losing weight, I done my research and I looked at everything. I looked at all types of diets. I looked at what I was eating. I had to understand. The main thing is you have to understand how you got to the place that you are now. So if you're 10 pounds overweight and it's over lockdown, you go, what have I done different? You can go, all right, and it's lockdown. I've not been walking as much, so maybe implementing that. The research is that you need to walk more. So understanding what you're doing wrong is a key factor, because if you don't know what's ruining your diet, what's basically stabbing yourself in the back, and you carry on doing it, you're not going to go far. Because obviously, if you're still eating pizza, but you think it's a little bit healthy pizza, but that's the reason that you're gaining weight, and you can work out twice as hard. But if you don't effectively stop what you're doing wrong, it's going to carry on. So the research is, there's so many parts of the research. So there's obviously understanding where you're going wrong. That's the main key. It's understanding what you're doing and how you got to the place that you are there. But the second part is what everyone else is doing. Most people hear the fact of 95% of people who lose weight. Let's just say that. Let's go and rephrase that. 95% of people who are on diets fail their diets. Okay, 95% of people who try to lose weight can't lose weight, or they fail, they give up, and they do something else, or they just gain weight. Out of the 5% of people who do lose the weight, I think it's 1% of them, about 1% out of that 5%, 1% of the 5 maintain their weight. The rest generally gain their weight back. So you're thinking there's a high percentage of people gaining the weight back after they've lost it. So the research, the main research is what are they doing? If you can understand what other people are doing wrong, you can understand what you shouldn't be doing. So I went through a phase where I was watching TV, and it wasn't like I was watching EastEnders or cartoons or stuff like that. I was watching documentaries, I was watching Man vs. Food, I was watching Fat vs. Thin, I was watching stuff like 600 Pound Life. I was watching everything about weight, and it's Secret Eaters, and it was to understand where people go wrong, where people think the TV show Secret Eaters, they're like, oh, I'm eating 1,200 calories or 1,300 calories, but I keep gaining weight. I shouldn't be as big as I am. But they do the research and they check their life, and it's like, no, you're eating 4,523 calories. You're fat because you're overeating, and it's understanding that sort of thing. You know, you may not understand, you may not notice what things you may be doing wrong. So I recommend doing a bit of research on what other people are doing or what other people are doing wrong. Because if you really want to understand there's no point following the masses. There's no point copying other people. There's no point following what other people are doing. So there's no point going to like a Slimming World or Weight Watchers or stuff like that, because the majority of people are doing that and they are failing. And why? Why can't they maintain their weight on these programs? There is a reason why, and I hate these programs, but do your research, understanding what people do wrong and understand what people do right. There's a lot of people out there who have maintained their weight, who have lost all the weight, and who do preach, or they do tell you what to do, but a lot of people don't listen, or a lot of people don't take in heart what other people are saying. So understand, doing your research and go from there. Okay, so you understand what you're doing to yourself, you understand what other people are doing to see what the 1%, the unusual people who keep their weight off are doing. That is key. Okay, that's the main research you have to be doing. Researching diets. I don't recommend one person doing one diet. I recommend you doing all the diets. I didn't just do keto, intermittent fasting. I did literally every diet. There wasn't a diet that I didn't do. I went through every phase. I tried every diet. I tried everything until I found a diet that I was able to maintain on a longer scale. So I do recommend you doing that. Doing the research is key. And number 3 is you have to be boring. And you're probably thinking, well, what do you mean you have to be boring? When I first started my diet, I was eating a very plain diet. So it was like, plain chicken, nothing else. It was cooked with no oils. It was really dry and plain, and some rice and some vegetables. That was my dinner. I had, I was very simplistic. Porridge in the morning. My diet was really boring. Okay. And don't get me wrong, there is foods out there that there's low calorie foods that you can have, and they're so good. But a lot of people don't like them. And the reason why is people don't like these low calorie alternatives is because they haven't tasted what they could be eating. So when I started my diet, I understood that there was low calorie alternatives, but I didn't want to go there. The reason is I was eating the pizzas, the right up there, the muffins, the cakes, the burgers, the chips, the McDonald's, the pizza. I was loving life. My food's up there. And when I went to the diet, I brought the food right down. I was eating the trashiest food in the world. Tasteless, boring, and I hated it. My life was boring as hell. And for a long time, I was eating the bad food. I class it as bad food. It made me not want to eat. And I was doing that for a while. And when I decided, it's like, I've had enough of this food, I'm going to change my diet and put it up to the low calorie alternatives. But I was going to eat more food. And when I brought the food up, so basically, it was like I decided to eat, I was having like PB2 or peanut butter as they call it on toast. I was eating more like a bit of fried chicken, my own homemade fried chicken. My food became much more tastier for me. And doing that, I was able to see what I could be eating as this really bad, boring food. And when I switched it to low calorie alternative foods, I was like, this is amazing. Amazing. And do it. So I recommend don't go from the worst foods to low alternative foods. I recommend you go right down to the bottom to try what you could be eating before you go trying these other recipes like these donuts that are low calories. Try what other people are doing. Try what like bodybuilders or what actors start eating, the broccoli and rice sort of foods. Try that first, and understanding when you bring it up again to the low calorie alternatives, and you can taste the difference. And realistically, I don't feel like I'm dieting. I actually feel like I'm pigging out, but I'm not. I'm on a diet food. Anyone who eats what I'm eating, I will maintain my food, my diet, but anyone else who eats it will probably lose weight. But I recommend everyone going right down to the bottom and trying their really bad and boring food before they try the low calorie alternatives. For me, it was like an eye opener. It's like there was dirt food. It was like I can actually have some decent food. I didn't actually think it's poor quality. It actually brought the food, the quality and the taste right up for me. I was like, this is beautiful. I can live on this. But if I went the opposite, if I just went from pizzas and all that to that alternative, I wouldn't be able to do it. Realistically, I would have struggled and I would have gone back to the higher calorie foods. So going right down to the bottom, then showing yourself that there are other options that you can have is a key. I do recommend it. Another one, guys, is don't consider macros. You're trying to lose weight, right? There's no point getting yourself into the macro science and their protein, carbs, carbohydrates, and anything. You don't need that. It's pointless for you now. You're losing weight. All you really need to know is calories in, calories out, move more. That is it. Calories in, calories out, move more. Don't worry about how much protein you're having. Don't worry about how much fat you're having. As long as you eat less than you're burning up. As long as you eat less than you're burning, as long as you do that, you're going to lose weight. And there's no point. The only time you should really be thinking about your macros is when you're going to like the bodybuilders or you're trying to tone up. And even then, now I'm trying to tone up as much as I can. I barely look at my macros. All I care about is a low percentage of fat, high percentage of protein, because I know protein is going to keep me satiated for longer, so I'm not going to get as hungry as everyone else. And also I have my donuts, I have my cakes, and everything is like a protein, low calorie alternatives. What I get offline, I got for other people, and I did my own research. And I do recommend, if you're going to do that, don't bother overcomplicate, blah 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 blah, making it confusing. There's no point making it confusing. Make it easy. Make sure that you're eating a certain amount of calories. And this is another one. And I'm going to be really honest. And if you do this, I will slap you. I will slap you so hard. Don't drop your calories too much. Don't drop it too fast. And you're probably thinking, why? Why shouldn't I drop my calories too fast? And the point is, when you're on a calorie deficit, you're going to go through plateaus. The plateau is basically a massive wall, I class it, is where you've been dieting. Just say you should be eating 3,000 to maintain your weight because you're a bigger person, you're a bigger woman, you're a bigger lad, and you're eating 2,800, right? You hit a plateau, and what you're meant to do is, like, the plateau is you can go, I'm going to move a little bit more to reduce that plateau, So like you get, all right, I'm not exercising, I'm going to add some exercise, I'm going to burn some more calories, and I don't have to change the diet at all. You start losing weight again, and you'll hit another plateau. You're all right then. I'm going to reduce the calories by maybe 100, maybe 200, bring it from 2,800 to 2,600, and you'll start losing weight again. But you basically, your body's just getting used to what you're eating, and it's assuming this is what you're eating for good, and it will basically you'll stop your metabolism at that stage, and you have to just reduce it a little bit or increase the exercise a little bit more. Realistically, it's the best way of seeing it is you're a big person. When you lose weight, you need less food, and that's what it is. Less food that you need to cut down your food. That's all it is. That's the wall. So if you lose 5 pounds, you're carrying 5 pounds less, so you're working out less. You need to eat less. Simple as that. So a plateau is basically reducing something. But if you go to the extreme and you go, all right, then I should be eating 3,000, but I'm going to eat 1,000 calories, you're going to hit a plateau, and you go, oh, I'm at 1,000 calories. What can I do with 1,000 calories? And yes, you're going to lose weight so fast, but it's unhealthy. And when you hit that plateau, it's going to be so hard to get out of it. You're going to be struggling. You're going to be crying. You're going to be, why am I in a plateau? I'm eating 1,000 calories. And you just have to reduce it more. But if you started the opposite way around, if you started at 2,800 and slowly went down or slowly increased it, it's more of a beneficial for you because you can adapt it easier than jump into the deep end. So there are my tips. If you are thinking about losing weight, put a message down below. If these tips have helped you a little bit, put a message down below. And girls and guys, understanding it's not a race. You don't have to charge out and get everything done. It takes time. It took me about a year of research to understand everything I needed to do. Everything. So I understood that, and I still do it now. Don't get it wrong. Before I go to bed, I'll have a book and I'll think, oh, what do I want to work out tomorrow? What should I be eating tomorrow? And yeah, I've gained a little bit of weight since the lockdown's eased. The gyms have opened. I'm hitting the gym more often, so I have gained a little bit more weight. But that's to be seen. That's going to be common sense. Yeah, I maintain my weight, but I'm also hitting the gym hard. I'm gaining weight, but I still do all the research as I can. I still check out also all the diets out there, and I check out a lot of YouTubers out there and seeing what they bring. Because guess what? It doesn't matter who you are. There could be someone who brings out this random great recipe of food and it's going to be low calories, and guess what? I would love that. It makes my job easier to find it. So if there's anything else I could talk about, guys, please message down below. And again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone for liking my channel, and I'm hoping everyone has liked my channel, and please subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.